Magic Gyarados, you know this. A dragon is a finished story. Do you feel like you've already arrived, like the work is done? The answer is no. This story already existed 200 years ago, Edo period Japan, and it's been tattooed on people's body ever since. I've been doing Japanese tattooing for 16 years. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know about this at first. If you know what this design is, you are in the 1% club. Let me show you right now. Konnichiwa, Yoshi desu. 16 years in tattooing. Right now, doing Erasmus out of Austin, Texas. And today, we're going to deep on the most slept on design in all of Erasmus. Let's get into it. Look at that head of dragon, body of koi. This is the Bakegoi, and once you understand what it is, you will never look at playing koi the same way again. The word itself tells you everything. Bake, from the Japanese word bakeru, means to transform, to change form. Goi means koi, the carp. So literally, the transforming koi. The koi in the act of becoming. Not what it was, not what it will be. The moment in between. Now, I know what some of you are thinking right now. You are thinking about Magikarp, right? And Gyarados. Yeah, Magikarp, the most useless Pokemon in the game, flops around doing nothing until one day evolve into Gyarados. Massive, terrifying sea dragon. The storylines, that entire concept, it came directly from the Bakegoi mythology. The designers at Game Freaks didn't invent that idea. They borrowed it from 200 years old Japanese legend. And the legend was already being tattooed on people's bodies long before Pokemon ever existed. To understand Bakegoi, you have to go back to the source. The source is a legend called Toryumon. Picture this yellow river in ancient China, and somewhere along that river, that's a waterfall, an almost impossibly violent stretch of rapid called the Dragon Gate. Every spring, tens of thousands of koi swim upstream against the current, against the rapids. Most of them fail, they get pushed back, they give up, but everything once in a while. One koi pushes through everything, launches itself up over the falls. In that moment, lightning strikes. The scales begin to shift. The fin stretches into claw. This ordinary fish that just refused to stop became the dragon. Now, in the 1800s, a Japanese woodblock artist named Utagawa Kuniyoshi looked at that legend and he painted it. His Bakegoi prints are some of the most intense, violent, beautiful images ever made in Japanese art. And those prints became the direct visual blueprint for Erasmus artists for the next 200 years. When you see a Bakegoi tattoo today, the composition, the energy, the way the body curves against the waterfalls, you are looking at direct link back to Kuniyoshi's brush. And one more thing, I want to show you every year in Japan, on May 5th, families hang giant koi-shaped windsock outside their homes, one for each children. This is called koinobori, and it's not just decoration, it's parent prayer, a wish that their son will grow up strong, like the koi fighting the current and eventually become a dragon. So this mythology, the koi and the waterfall transformation, it's not some ancient abstract concept. It's something Japanese families are still actively living and breathing today. Alright, so now you know what it is, but I want to talk about why I think this is the single most meaningful tattoo you can get the entire Erasmus canon. Here's the thing about a dragon tattoo. A dragon is a finished story. It's already alive. It's a power in its final form. which is awesome. Let me ask you, do you feel like you've already arrived, like the work is done? Because for most of us, the answer is no. We are still in it, still grinding, still climbing. You are hitting the gym at 6 in the morning because of you're not done yet. You're grinding at that business because you are not done yet. You're pushing through things that could break most people because you refuse to stop. That's not dragon, that's your Bakegoi. A dragon is the success. The Bakegoi is the processing of the becoming successful. One is a destination, the other is a life. And I don't know about you, but that's feel a lot more honest to me. And here's what makes it very flex in the room. Almost nobody knows this story behind it. Someone sees your Bakegoi and thinks, oh, cool tattoo, but you know what it actually means. And that knowledge lives on your skin. That's different from just having a tattoo. Alright, so if you are actually thinking about getting a Bakegoi, here's the stuff to pay attention to. So the head is the first thing your eye goes to, and it should feel like a dragon, not like a costume. In traditional Irajmi, the dragon head has specific features. The horn go back and up, the eyes are wide and kind of angry. The jaw is long, it's got a very distinct look. If the head looked like a generic fantasy dragon, like it's something from a video game, that's usually a sign it's not looted in the traditional style. And here's something a lot of people don't think about. The dragon head on Bakegoi should look young. Think about it, this is a koi that just started transforming. It hasn't fully becoming dragon yet. So the jaw is shorter, the whiskers are shorter, the horns and spikes are shorter, like a young face, not fully grown in yet. You know how older men, the jaw get longer, everything kinda like extend. It's the same with the dragon in Irajmi. An old, powerful dragon has everything long and heavy. The Bakegoi dragon head is the opposite. It's got that young energy. The body is koi, but slightly longer than regular koi, like it's already stretching, already reaching for something. And sometimes you will see the fins expressed almost like knuckles or hard bony spikes, not soft fish fins anymore, something tough, halfway to close. That detail is really cool because it's showing you transformation is already happening, not just in the head, but all the way down the body. In a Bakegoi, the word is the context. It's what tells you this is happening at the Dragon Gate. This fish is in the middle of the climb, and visually, the way the form tray wrapped around the body, that's what gives you whole piece its energy. Without it, it just sits there. With it, the thing feels alive. So, is Bakegoi for you? Here's my honest answer, not for everyone. And I mean that's as a compliment. If you want something that looks undeniably clean and powerful, and you don't care too much about the deeper meaning, a dragon is perfect for you. Seriously, I will do that all day. But if you want something with the full weight of Irajmi tradition, something that tells a complete story, something that actually means something specific about where you are right now in your life, I'm recommending the Bakegoi every single time. You want it different from everyone else, but you still want a real thing. You want Irajmi authenticity, not just a cool looking fish. That's the Bakegoi. It hits every single one of those marks. And I want to leave you with one thought. Remember that koinobori tradition I told you about. Every May 5th, parents hang a koi in the wind and whisper a prayer for their child. When you put a Bakegoi on your body, you are making the same prayer for yourself that your life will move like the koi against the current through the hard parts toward something greater. It's not just a tattoo, it's a talisman, a long life reminder of who you decide to be. I will ask you, are you going to stay at the bottom of the waterfall? Are you going to leap? If you are in Austin and you want to talk about Bakegoi or any enrichment pieces, my studio info is in the description. Come and say hi. お疲れ様でした。